Sahana vavato Sahanao bhunakto Sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hare Om. Om. May Brahman protect us both. May Brahman bestow upon us both the fruit of knowledge. May we both obtain the energy to acquire knowledge. May what we both study reveal the truth. May we cherish no ill will toward each other. Om. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. We are studying the Brahma Upanishad. As the very title indicates, Brahma. What is the Upanishad? That which gives us knowledge of Brahman. Shankaracharya's definition of Upanishad, Upa plus Ni plus Sat. That which takes us to Brahman and makes us merge in Brahman. That which loosens all the attachments, bondages, or that which destroys, burns away all Maya, Avidya. That is called Upanishad. And the title is absolutely unnecessary, Upanishad itself. But because this is a dialogue between Angirasa Pippalada and Shaunaka, Mahashala, a worthy disciple. And it starts with a question by the student. What is this world? But he did not ask, what is this world? He asked that, what is this body? How do the sense organs work? What is this mind? What is this prana? What is the relationship between Atman and Brahman, Atman and prana, prana and mind, mind and the body, body and the sense organs and the entire universe outside. What is the relationship? And the Sankshipta Samadhana, very brief answer is, there are no two things called Atman or Brahman or Prana or Atman or mind. Everything is one, but depending upon how we look at it, through how many lenses we look at. Sometimes we look upon ourselves as an individual, sometimes as the body, sometimes as the sense organ. Most interesting analysis. Supposing with your eye, you are looking at a tree. At that time, who are you? Of course, you will answer, I am seeing a tree. But you have become the eye, you have become the tree, you have become the light, and that is how the knowledge comes. That I am experiencing a tree, but everything is centered in that I. But this is called avidya, wrong knowledge, because as we discussed earlier, everything is mithya. What is the truth? That which never changes. What is truth? That which is never dependent. So whatever is changing, whatever is depending upon something else, that is mithya. And whatever is unchanging and whatever is completely independent, that which is without birth or death, without any change, beyond kala, desha and vastu. That is called Brahman. This is the subject matter. This is the Brahma Vidya, theoretically, from any scripture. Doesn't matter. Is it Bhagavad Gita, or is it Upanishads, or is it Bible, is it Bhagavatam, anything. This is the essence. Only depending upon who is the capacity of the disciple, intellectual capacity of the disciple, So there is a god called Narayana or Shiva, and you must become a devotee, and you must completely surrender yourself. Surrender means removing the duality. But the essence is the same. Then the bhakta becomes Bhagavan, Jivatma, as if it recognizes, I am Paramatma. So, different words are used, and we have to study any number of times. How long? Once we also realize we are Brahman, we become the Upanishads. But until that time, we have to study just like same sweet. Sweet is a sweet, but there will be a million different variations of sweets. So we have to enjoy. A little less sweet, very enjoyable. A little more sweet, enjoyable. You must notice, if you go on eating the same sweet, it won't be enjoyable. You have to vary. In between, if you can get some Andhra avakaya, every sweet will be extraordinary. The sweetness, the tastiness of every sweet gets enhanced by a billionfold. This is one-off experience. Okay, we will take up from where we have stopped yesterday. So the Shaunaka was being answered that everything, the prana is nothing but Atman. Prana is manifesting, or Atman is manifesting as prana. Prana is manifesting as the mind. Mind is manifesting as the sense organs. The sense organs are manifesting as the entire external world. Another way of saying Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. And this is being given, made to understand by us with various illustrations. Saha niyachati madhukara rajanam makshikavat iti. Yatha makshikena ekena tantuna jalam vikshipati tena apakarshati tatha eva esha pranaha. Yada yati samsrishtam akrishya pranadevataha sarvaha nadyaha. In fact, we have studied, we have been discussing up to this point, samsrishtam akrishya. But just to recollect, the example is given. So here a honeybee is taken. Honeybee, by mistake, falls into the net of a spider. And the spider example is given in many Upanishads. So the spider, it weaves. We have all seen. If you don't clean any part of the house, very soon some spider will be weaving webs. Small spider, big spider. So this example of the spider is used especially for two meanings. In the Brihadaranyaka, this spider example is used that the whole Srishti, creation, comes out of only one God or Paramatman or Brahman. Just as a spider brings out the entire threads and weaves so intricately and then tries to catch Srishti, then it has to live, so it has to catch some insects, etc. That is called Sthiti, and then it wants to shift its home to a better fertile field. So what does it do? It withdraws. How marvelous it is if you watch a spider web, that it seems that every corner is tied. But if you watch, in fact, once I have seen that, how that unravels, as it were, like a magician, and the whole thing becomes as if it is rolling within itself, and then it just moves off to another corner of the house and room, and then it starts spreading again, but it catches the insects. And here the catch is compared to the honeybee. Once it is caught, no insect can ever escape. Don't say that I can escape, because you are not an insect. But every insect is there. This is the example given. Saniyachati madhukara rajanam. That is a honeybee. Makshika means a spider. How does it do? Yatha makshika ekena tantuna. Just one thread. Jalam vikshipati. It builds a beautiful net. Tena apakarshati. And many insects flying that way, somehow they can't find the bondage that comes, and they fall into it. So this honeybee has fallen into it. In fact, this honeybee also is given as an example in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. But in fact, there is a beautiful section in Brihadaranyaka. It is called Madhukandam. That is just like a spider's web. It is one, but it is widespread. Similarly, this whole universe is tied, as it were, by one thread. And that thread is called Madhu, joy, happiness. All of us are caught in that net called happiness. And then we are born and we live only because of that happiness, and we die also for the sake of happiness only. That is the meaning of creation. So, we were discussing about the spider. First meaning is how the creation comes from Paramatma. And what is the second meaning of it? That just like a spider, spontaneously, it doesn't have to work very hard. So, the very breathing in and breathing out of Bhagavan, as naturally as a thread comes out of the spider, so also Srishti Sthiti takes place. So, our rishis must have been observing nature, because they give the example of Mahamatsya, a big fish also. But when the time comes, we will talk about it. Here, just like with one thread. So what is the application here? This Atman, it throws out this prana. How many pranas? One prana only. But this one prana, like the one thread of a spider, but it becomes the entire net, subdivides itself into 5 activities: prana, vyana, apana, udana, samana, and that is how it sustains the body, also sustains the mind, also sustains the entire universe. So this is the example given. Tata eva eshaha pranaha. What does it do? Yada yati samsrishtam akrishya. When this prana departs, what does it do? It carries with it all the subtle sense organs. In my previous class I mentioned the sense organs that we see in the body are not to be equated with sense organs. They are windows. They are just cases. Just like a sword is kept in a leather box, etc. And then when it is necessary, it is taken out. So all our, what we call our eyes, our ears, our nose, our tongue, our skin, this is not real sense organ. These are only golaka, we call it, windows. Just like a cameraman, so completely separate from the camera. Camera is like a window. Whatever photo he wants to take, he will look at it, but the real cameraman is completely separate. In the same way, this prana, what does it do? It, even when the body falls. Physical body is separated because it has done its job. It is no more useful. We require another body. So prana, that is called the Sukshma Sharira, along with Karana Sharira, it departs taking all these indriyas. Who is sustaining these sense organs? It is the prana. And who starts them? Prana. Who stops them? Prana. What do I mean by stopping? When the prana is manifesting in the waking as well as in the dream, then it is sustaining the mind. Mind is sustaining the sense organs. Sense organs are sustaining the entire universe. How is the sense organ sustaining the universe? If my eyes do not cognize a tree, for example, the tree doesn't exist at all. The existence of any object, either in the form of form, color, or sound, or smell, or taste, or touch, then the world doesn't exist at all. That is why in the deep sleep, when the mind has become attained to causal state, it is not functioning. So we cannot see the whole world has disappeared again until we wake up and enter into both either waking state or dream state. What does this prana, what does it do? Devataha taha sarvaha radyaha. When prana in the waking state, later on in the dream state, enlivens devataha. Devata means what? Indriyas. But even if you take the meaning of the devatas as the presiding deities, if they have to function, if they have to be active, if they have to manifest and do their jobs, prana is there. So there is no difference between our prana and the adhishtatra devata prana also. Here devata means sense organs. So some srishtiya, it creates, it sustains, and then akrusha, that is what it does. But after some time, it withdraws, just as a spider withdraws all the thread. And what is that state? That is called deep sleep state. So therefore, how does this prana enliven the sense organs? Through particular channels called nadis. There is no equivalent English word which conveys exact meaning. So you can say something like nerves, but that is not the real meaning. Some pathways through which the prana flows, contacts all the sense organs, sarvaha. And that is how, both in the waking, in the dream state, the prana sustains them. So prana in the form of the mind in the form of the sense organs, all the 10 organs, the sense organs of knowledge and the organs of action also. So prana devataha taha sarvaha nadyaha. That is how the relationship is there. Otherwise it is not possible. Then sushupti, the state of sushupti. Waking state is described, dream state is described, now deep sleep state. And again this Atman in the form of the prana. A beautiful example is given, and Sri Ramakrishna also gives that example. In fact, a beautiful song has been created. Do you understand what I am referring to exactly? There was a bird, it was resting on the mast of a ship, and the ship is put out to sea, and for a long time the bird did not understand because it was in deep sleep state. When it opened its eyes, already the ship was there in the ocean. Then the bird, it has to come to the land. in search of food, etc. So it flew to the east, west, south, north. It could not reach the land. So again it went back after trying each direction. Then it sat down. And then it gave up searching for everything. This is what is called analogy. This is what is called a parable. And here it is again given. And in other Upanishads also we get it. What is this giving? The bird completely resting before it became aware that I want to go to the land. That is called sushupti, deep sleep state. And then it tries. It goes here and there. But we have to understand, that means it will experience the waking, then it will experience the dream state. But here the Upanishad puts it very beautiful way. It goes to the east. That means the Jivatma in the Sushupti state wakes up to the waking state. And then it wants to take rest. So it goes back to the mast. It takes rest. That means it enters into deep sleep state. Then it flies to the south. That means dream state. So like that it comes back. Then it takes rest. So continuously it goes into the waking, comes back, it goes into the dream, it comes back. And then what does it do? It sits peacefully. That means Shantamurti. It is in the Sushupti state. This is a beautiful description. That is what is being given. Sushvape, when the Jivatma is in the state of the deep sleep, Shyenaha means a kite. Akashavat yatha, just as it flies. Kham, Shyenaha, this kite, Kham asritya, it goes on flying. Kham means space, akasha. Yati, it runs here and there. That means it goes to the waking as well as a dream, one after the other. Then it doesn't get any rest because these two states are states of activity. Prana is very much active there. Then what does it do? Sam alayam evam. It comes back and then it rests. And that is called Sushupti. Sushuptaha brute. This state where the Jivatma gets complete rest. And that is what we are experiencing every single time. Kham shenam asritya yati swamalayam evam sushuptaha. The Jivatma which enters into that state of deep sleep. Brute, people say. And he gives an example. Yatha eva yesha devadatta. Just like yatha yesha, this Devadatta. Who is a Devadatta? XYZ. Tom, Dick, Harry. Doesn't matter. Some X is called Devadatta and Yagnadatta. Like that, Vedanta uses this word. So what does he do? Enters into the deep sleep state. And in that state, he goes so deep into it. Yastya apit adyamanaha. Even if somebody takes a big stick and then beats him up, if somebody is in that state, then na yat yeva. So what happens? He doesn't feel at all. That is, he is not aware of it. He is not conscious of it. He is so deeply involved. Is it possible that when a person, you or me, we are in the deep sleep state, somebody comes a big stick and beats? Is it possible that we won't wake up? Well, Ramana Maharshi used to tell something very peculiar. He said, I was very strong. No boy of my age can defeat me in any game. And even we used to wrestle also. I was so strong because he was so much concentrated. Concentration is the greatest strength. Even any most famous wrestler, even Muhammad Ali, his greatness comes because of that one-pointedness, and he's always seeking where is the weak point, and then like lightning he gives a blow and the other fellow is defeated. Ramana Maharshi was undefeatable, and then he used to say, then I go to sleep, and I was so much in that sushupti state, the boys used to come and beat me up, and I was not at all aware of what they did. My God, if we have that kind of mind in waking state, let people criticize me, praise me, blame me, but whatever they do, I will be with the greatest peace and joy, etc. So there are some people, very blessed people. So spirituality is useful even for that purpose also. So I highly recommend it. It works really. So yashtya means with a stick, tadimana api naveti. It doesn't know. But what is the state for? Suppose a person has advanced spiritually. Then what happens? Ishtapurtai. This person in the waking state, he worships God and so many goes on pilgrimage. Any personal attempt to be spiritual through spiritual activity is called Ishta. Purta means the person has become so moral, he wants to offer his life as a service to the people. So he constructs temples, constructs dharmashalas, constructs, digs wells, constructs what we call lakes, etc., ponds, etc. And this is what is called social service. And definitely Ishtapurta will give a lot of what we call punyam. Sometimes the person may also do something adharma. So if he does dharmic karmas, then he will get shubham. Shubha means punyam. And if he does it the opposite, he inevitably gets ashubha, means he will suffer. But this person, whether he has got lot of punyam, lot of papam, so long as he is in the state of the deep sleep, he is not touched at all. He is not attached at all. A very, very beautiful example is given through this. That is to say, when we are completely awake, but our mind is in the state of like deep sleep, but not sleeping, but deeply absorbed in God, then mana and avamana, sukha and dukkha, sita and ushna, labha and alabha, jaya and apajaya, whatever ups and downs happen in life, nalipyate, just like that. That is very ideal state for all of us to enter. But it is not merely not being attached, not attached, means completely detached. But a stone also, you beat it, it will not react. You pour water on it, it will not react. Is he like this person who is in that state of deep sleep? Is he like a stone? No. So the Upanishad wants to tell, yatha kumaraha, so like a child. Kumara means he who is still a child. Nishkamaha, a child doesn't have any attachment. That is why Sri Ramakrishna used to say that I use it to cultivate the company of small children. Why? Because by observing them, 1 minute they quarrel, and the next minute they hug each other as if they are what is called bosom friends. I have seen it myself. You also must have seen it. So they don't have temporarily, no, I am very angry with you, I want to beat you up, I will complain a bit about you to my mom or dad. All these things you do. This fellow does it. But after a few seconds, he forgets the whole lot. Sri Ramakrishna gives a lot of examples. One very telling example is a father had adorned his son with new dress, very beautiful dress, and also some beautiful ornaments. And the child is very happy. My daddy has given me all these things. So he is playing and he is exhibiting himself to everybody. Say, look here, my daddy has given me this one. So then one person comes and says, darling, will you please give me? I will give you this something. I will give you some sweet. I will give you some playthings. You exchange. What are you going to do? These are better than what you have. My daddy has given. I am not going to give it to you. So the person goes away disappointed. And then another person, he is not even looking at this child. He is passing in the street. And the child runs after him, takes off his clothes, his ornaments, hands over to him. You take. Even if that fellow doesn't give anything, this fellow has done. So a child is as much attached as detached, is only very temporarily. And that becoming like a child, balakavat, sometimes jadavat, sometimes pishachavat, sometimes, of course, panditavat. So, unmadavat, sometimes like a ghoul, sometimes like a madcap, sometimes absolutely still, sometimes like a child, sometimes like a king, sometimes like a greatest pandit. So, depending upon what company is there, a Jivan Mukta can behave. A marvelous description has been given both in the Vivek Chudamani and especially in Atma Bodha. So, this is the example taken by this Brahma Upanishad. Yatha Kumaraha, a child, Nishkamaha, absolutely desireless. If a child is with mother, then he doesn't want anything. Anandam Upayati. So long as he is in the lap of the mother or father, Anandam Upayati is incomparable bliss. So, like that, Tatha eva esha Devadatta. Again, we are getting the example of the Devadatta. Swapne Anandam Abhiyati. So, maybe he has got a beautiful dream, sweet dream, very desirable dream, Anandam Abhiyati. Earlier, he told about the Sushupti state. Now, he is telling Swapnam Anandam Abhiyati. Right? Is a spiritually advanced person, and if we can advance spiritually, we can also be like that. Then, Veda eva paranjyotihi jyotishkamo jyotihi anandayate. This is what we have to understand now. So, there is, I think, a small point here. Earlier, the Atman is here compared to the spider, the prana to the single thread. Just like a spider, not two threads, only one thread. So this Atman, one thread is prana. And prana, so one thread is mind. And this same thing, at any given time, the prana manifests only through one of the sense organs, because only one thread. Sometimes it hooks to the eye, sometimes to the ear, etc. That is important. So that is how the whole Brahman enjoys this Srishti. He is the creator, and he is subdivides into the subject and object. Everything is one. But here also we have to understand one thread means when he is playing the role of a subject, he is only the subject. But next millisecond, he may identify himself with the object. Only one thread, one pointedness. This is a beautiful way of understanding. Then we have discussed about the Sushupti state. So, this fact of potential resolution of ordinary consciousness into absolute consciousness is described as the return of the former to its own image. How can one, then the question comes, especially about the Sushupti, deep sleep state. So what is the deep sleep? It is comparable to Samadhi state, Of course, with two caveats. We cannot enter into deep sleep state when we want. Now I want to enter into deep sleep, not possible. And now I want to get up, it is impossible. So Sushupti itself takes us over when it wants us to, Jivatma, to take rest. Sushupti possesses it, and when he has sufficient rest, then it leaves him so that he wakes up or he goes into dream state, whatever. But one doubt comes here, and this is most people, that is their experience, their expression. What is it? Yes, it is true, I am very peaceful, but at the time of experiencing deep sleep, do I know that I am really experiencing this unparalleled, incomparable bliss? And the Shruti is answering as that one. You see, how can one enjoy bliss when there are good and evil deeds with their effects? So therefore, the Upanishad is telling that the very existence of good and evil, so long as the Jivatma is in the Sushupti state, as if good and evil stand outside, and therefore it is not possible for that Jivatma to experience anything but bliss. And interesting fact we have to note down here, when the same Jivatma is in the experiencing either waking or dream, then he is not experiencing bliss. He is experiencing sometimes happiness, happiness followed by unhappiness, unhappiness followed by happiness. Many times I illustrated Sukha Dukkha. And you can say like Krishna in between two gopis. So supposing you are hungry, that is called Dukkha. Then you obtain food and you enjoy food. That is called Sukha. And immediately after you swallow, the happiness comes only as soon as food touches your tongue. Once it goes down the tongue into the stomach, then there is no happiness. You don't get any taste. Then until it is completely digested, that is called Dukkha again. So this Dukkha, again you digest the food, and then you feel hungry, and then you eat food. Sukha is followed by Dukkha, Dukkha is followed by Sukha, Sukha is followed by Dukkha, Dukkha is followed by Sukha. Continuous process, even if we are enjoying through any of the sense organs. That is the idea. But the most important point is, we are completely aware. I am blissful, just as we are aware of the waking state, just as we are aware of the dream state, we are completely aware of the deep sleep state also. Because how do we know? How do we know? Because when we wake up, we don't say somebody else had come and slept for me. Not even for a millisecond. I only slept. I was only in deep sleep. So I went to bed at 11 o'clock. I woke up at 5 o'clock, 11 to 5. I did not know anything. And this is the sentence that creates the problem. I did not know anything means there is nothing, no other object to interrupt my experience of bliss. Bliss I am experiencing. How do you know? Because Sukham Aham Aswapsam. Throughout the deep sleep, I was a very happy person. Therefore, my own statement, nobody slept for me, and I was very happy throughout. Then why could not you tell that I am a very happy person? To whom? Because in the deep sleep state, there is nobody else. Therefore, the expression only, I am happy, there is no such thing called, I want to share it with somebody. There is no duality there. Temporarily, of course. So, for that, this example we quoted, just as a child enjoys itself spontaneously, without any motive or desiring anything, even so, this XYZ, Devadatta, enjoys happiness in that state. What is the Upanishad driving at? That We experience something in the waking, we experience something in the dream state. Both are conditioned by duality. But there is another state called deep sleep, where there is no duality at all. But it is a temporary. As soon as we come back to waking or dream, again we fall into the same trap. And here the Upanishad, having given this example, it is now taking us upwards. Veda eva paranjyotihi jyotish kamo jyotihi anandayate. So this Jivatma, he knows, being the light supreme, desiring light, he enjoys the light. Here light means awareness, consciousness. So he says, I am consciousness, but I am thinking I am not consciousness. Through the Upanishads, I come to know I am pure consciousness. So I desire to be what in fact I am. So I believe in the scriptures, evam param jyoti. I am not merely small light. I am the supreme light, jyotira jyoti. I am the desirer of jyoti, jyotish kamaha. And I rejoice, I delight only in the jyoti. What is this jyoti? Jyoti means what we call in normal language Sat Chit Ananda, especially Ananda. So jyoti is not some light. In our experience, though you are hungry at night and you know there is some food somewhere, so you require a light, and with the help of that light, you slowly approach the food, and then you take the food, eat the food, and you are satisfied. No, not like that. Jyoti is bliss. Bliss is Jyoti. There is no difference, because there are no two, there are no dvandva. Naturally, the question comes that only a person who desires, he can enjoy. This is a very silly question, but such silly people are there. So silly answer also has to be given. What is that answer? All right, I go along with you. This person is a Jyotish Kama. He desires. And Jyoti means Ananda. And therefore he desires and he gets it and he enjoys it. And in the waking state, when we are saying, I want to be happy, actually, do you know what you are talking about? You are already happy, but I want to know I am a happy person. And when are you not happy? You are happy all the time. But what happens is a thought, I am not happy, covers up that thought. My very being is happiness. And through some other means, you remove that negative thought, like when the cloud is removed, or your finger you remove from your in front of your eye, then the sun, which is always brightly shining, is experienceable. This is only an allegory, but really speaking, we have never fallen from our state of Brahmanhood, but we think we have gone. That is, I am closing my own eyes. This is called Leela. Brahman's Leela is called all of us thinking I am happy, unhappy. It is not I. And Sri Ramakrishna hints at it beautifully. What does he say? That once Sri Ramakrishna is telling that everything is God. So the whole universe is nothing but God. And God is Ananda Swarupa. Then a devotee immediately questions, not understanding what Sri Ramakrishna was driving at. Why are we so happy? Why we are not so happy? Sometimes a bit happy, but many times more unhappy than happiness. So why are we happy and why are also we unhappy? That means if we are Brahman, we are God, as you are saying, we should always be happy. Sri Ramakrishna, he did not answer that question. He simply said, who are you, sir? You tell me who are you. Smilingly he is asking. That means I know that you, XYZ, Devadatta, Yagnadatta, you do not exist. I see my Divine Mother or God, and God is playing with himself, solitaire game. he can only play solitaire game. Why? Because there is no second. Ditya is not there. So, Sri Ramakrishna meaning, you are none other than God. If you say, I am not happy, then God is saying, I am not happy. Just imagine. Take it from there. And then, again, so he comes out into the waking state, and he enters into the dream state, and again he goes back to the deep sleep state. This is reiterating the same truth again. Bhuyasa tena eva swapnaya gacchati chalo kavat. So he also returns by the same way to the dream state like a leech. Again, this example of jalauka means leech. And if you observe how a leech moves, then you can understand. The movement of the leech affords a very favorite example in the Upanishadic teaching for the self-transference of consciousness from one state of the world to another, as experienced in the transition through death or through the three states of dreamless sleep, dream and wakefulness. In my past class, I have given the example of a death. So what happens? The Jivatma, he finds this physical body completely useless. But already he has got a new body created, a blueprint, let us say. So he enters after death, or what we call death, is still alive, but we are not able to understand it. So 50% prana is there, 50% of his prana, it goes to the new body, and for that this example of leech is given. Leech has got many legs. So what does it do? From leaf to leaf, it wants to move. From a old leaf, so it has eaten, and now it wants to enter into a new leaf. So what does it do? It firmly plants the back legs on the leaf which it wants to leave, and lifts itself up front part and puts the front legs on the another new leaf and plants it firmly. Then it lifts the back legs, and this is the movement. Actually, we also do that. When we are walking, what do? So we lift our right leg, for example, and where is your left leg? Still firmly on the ground. And then you put it 1 foot forward. Foot means not only your right foot, but 1 foot distance. You put it forward, and then when the right leg is firmly fixed on that front, then you lift the left and then bring it to the forward and again lift. This is how walking is made possible. This is how running also is made possible. So here also no different from leeches, but this example is very popular example. So also the jiva, it retains a little bit of this previous body, and then it enters into the new body, and then it lifts, it completely detaches itself from the old body and fixes itself totally in the new body. That is one example. The second example is, how does it move from one state to the other state? Exactly same way. For example, so a little bit of it is still in the deep sleep state, and it lifts its 4 legs, as it were, and means 90% of the consciousness enters into the waking state, and then it leaves the deep sleep state completely, and for some time it moves in that new leaf, as it were, that means in that new state, and it gets tired, and again it enters. So 90% of consciousness into dream state, and when it enters firmly, then it becomes completely identified again from the dream state to deep sleep state. So this is a very beautiful point, and it is worth to contemplate upon this. Yatha Chalauka Agram Nayati Atmanam Nayati Param Sandai. Just as a leech carries itself onto the other points in front, first fixing upon the next point. So in the same way, we are moving from one state to the other like a leech. It is only for the sake of understanding. And second is, there is nothing called death. Death is only beginning of a new life. And this birth and death both disappear only when we completely enter into the what is called moksha state, that I am Brahman. Then there is no janma, no mrityu, no shadurmi, etc., etc. So having given this example, how we move from one state to the other, or even this life is one state, and then the manifested state. From the manifest, we go into the unmanifest, and that becomes manifest, etc. Yat param na param tyajati sa jagrat abhidiyati. So there is something very special about the waking state. That's what the Upanishad, that is Bhagavan Pippalada or Angirasa, wants to tell us. What is it? Waking state is very special. Why? Because who analyzes about the dream state and deep sleep state? Are you analyzing about deep sleep state in deep sleep or in dream state, or only in the waking state? Only in the waking state. Therefore, always there is, whenever we analyzing, the dream state is within the waking state. The deep sleep state is also within the waking state, because we only in waking state. So I was for some time in the dream state, and then afterwards I did not know what happened. We are recollecting. So this recollection, analysis, and if any lessons to be learned, everything is possible only in the waking state. So sadhana is possible only in the waking state. That statement is given here. Yat param na param. That is both dream and dreamless state. Either what is called that which is other than itself, that which is not different from itself. Sa param tejati. So this waking Jivatma doesn't give up neither the dream state nor the deep sleep state, but they are included within the waking state. That is the meaning. And he gives an example. When we offer something to any god, yatha eva esha kapala ashtakam. And this kapala means a skull. No, that is one meaning. Another meaning is, suppose there are some 8 offerings have to be given, and 8 separate offerings have to be given in 8 separate cups. So if we offer with devotion, the deity also accepts them. So 8 sacrificial cups simultaneously, because God is very powerful. He doesn't take, unlike us, one by one, but he takes all of them. That means the waking state's greatness is that in that waking state, that is the supreme state among all the 3 states, it is possible to get knowledge, possible to enjoy thoroughly, possible to get samadhi, possible to become mukta, only in the waking state. This is a glorification of the waking state. Then, tameva stanaiva lambate veda deva yonihi. It is from him, that means Brahman, in the form of the Jivatma, that the source of the Vedas and Devas hang like breasts. You know, we all have breasts. And every female, male also has breasts, only they are not useful. They are useless type of breasts. So, just as there are 2 breasts, similarly, Veda, that is the highest knowledge, I am Brahman. And Deva. Deva means this embodied state. Both of them are inherent to this Jivatma, so long as he is here. But when he realizes God, then both these merge there. There is only one consciousness, Aham Brahmasmi. Yatra Jagrati Shubha Shubham Niruktam Asya. So this state is being explained here, yatra, in which state this Jivatma, Jagrati, becomes completely aware. How? Shubham, Ashubham, the completely giving up, rising above both the good and evil, both in the deep sleep state, albeit unconsciously, but in the mukta state, realized state, because there is nothing called Shubha or Ashubha, there is no duality at all. So, Niruktam Asya. This has been beautifully conveyed, what is called by the scriptures. The scriptures are seen to speak also of good and evil, even the dream state of man, not to speak of the waking state, but really, man, when he awakens from these three states, that is called real wakeful state, whether here on earth, Jivan Mukta, or hereafter Videha Mukta. That is the theme of Upanishads. Such a man who is wide awake, that is called real Jagrata Avastha, not what we call Jagrata Avastha. So who projects out of himself and for himself all rules of conduct, all conceptions of rewarding or punishing against us devatas, and so on. That means he understands that I only have become the samsara, I also have become all the Shubha, Ashubha, Sukha, Dukkha, happy, Punya, Papa, Dharma, Adharma, etc., etc. Saha, such a Jivatma, Samprasaraha, Antaryami. He is the controller. This being or the self, fully self-extended. When there is no self-extension, he is called Brahman. When he extends himself, he is called the, what is called Samsara Brahma, the Jagat Brahma. Brahma in the form of the Nama, Rupa and Guna into the world forms. But he controls everything and he sports everywhere. He is doing Leela. This is what exactly Bhagavad Gita is also. So it tells Ishvaraha Sarva Bhutanam Hriddesha Arjuna Tishtate Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Yantra Rudhani Maya. All plans of existence, gross or subtle, mundane or supramundane, consist of the self-extension of man's selfhood. The distinction of the subjective and objective, we must remember, is intellectual, doesn't therefore operate beyond that limit. Means everything is mind-made. Everything is a thought. I am Brahman is also thought. I am bound is also thought. I am a samsari is a thought. I am a jivatma is a thought. I am a sadhaka is a thought. And I have become, by the grace of Guru and God, I have become free. That is also a thought. Everything is a thought. Beautiful idea with such a deep meaning we will discuss in our next class. Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Sritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. May the Ramakrishna Holy Mother and Swami Vivekananda bless us all with bhakti. Jai Ramakrishna.